For this lesson, we'll be talking about ground reference maneuvers. So there's 3 potential ground reference maneuvers that you may be asked to do on your check ride. You're gonna have to practice all of them though, just in case. For turns around a point, you're looking for a complete circle. You don't want any oval shapes, so that nice and even circle. Then you have a rectangular course, which is where you will pick some sort of rectangle, where that's 4 intersecting streets, a block, something that you can turn and follow the course. And your goal is to keep your ground track aligned with that course. So you're making wind corrections that you need to do to stay aligned with each of those roads or whatever you choose to use for your reference lines for a rectangular course. Finally, we'll have the S-turns. Now, S-turns are a little different. S-turns are a little different in that you will need to pick a road, and then you will go back and forth across the road, doing 180-degree turns. And your goal is to make each turn even, so when you're coming around from one side to the other side, you're going to want to be wings level when you cross the road, and then have that turn be equal to the turn you had done previously. You're going to do 4 of those in a row down that road as you progress for your S-turns. We're going to demo each of these now. I'm going to pick points around the area to use, and all of these maneuvers are going to be performed at around 600 to 1,000 feet AGL above the ground, and airspeed is going to be higher since we're doing maneuvers. All these are going to be performed at a higher airspeed, below our maneuvering speed, but on the higher end of things, so expect around 100 knots. 90 to 100 knots. And yeah, a big thing of these ground reference maneuvers is just making wind corrections and being able to pilot the aircraft. So that's the main focus of these. So we will go ahead and demo each of these. So we'll demo turns around a point, a rectangular course, and some S-turns today for your ground reference maneuvers. So for our turns around a point, we're going to use this lone tree here that's on our left hand side, right above our dash right there. You can see that. Go over it, we're entering on the downwind. We have to enter on the downwind for these maneuvers. So we'll be entering on the downwind. You see that tree right there on our left hand side. We're going to go ahead and start our turn. Not too steep. Want to level that out a little bit more. Again, the goal is to make sure you're not making an oval, not losing too much altitude. Pull up a little bit more. Really keeping that point in a nice circle. Just want to keep our altitude, keep our airspeed up, make sure our turn is coordinated, and finish all the way through. Want to bank too much, you're going to need to make it different amounts depending on the wind. Here today it's pretty calm, so we don't have to worry about that as much. But if you do have winds, you have to make more corrections with more bank as needed. So there we go, we'll go ahead and roll out now that we have completed that circle around, and we'll continue on to our next demonstration for a rectangular course. Alright, so we're going to do our rectangular course around this golden yellow field over here on our left. We're going to start entering on the downwind again, and we're going to try and make sure that we're getting wind corrections and follow this course the best we can with our ground track. So we're starting on that first leg of this rectangular course, keeping our altitude, keeping our airspeed, following that, try not to bank too steep. Going straight, level out, following that course. We're going to go ahead and go into our next turn right here. And this is a pretty small rectangle, probably not the best choice for this if you're your actual ride. And we're going to go ahead and make our next turn here. Try to keep that altitude, level off once we're back at that rectangle again. Go. So we're on that last step here. We got one more turn to make, and that'll complete our rectangular course. going to go ahead and start that turn now. And try and keep that our altitude and airspeed. We're going to take that last turn to complete our rectangular course. And that's it for the rectangular course. So go ahead and follow that if you would like to practice your rectangular courses. Another thing to add for all of these ground reference maneuvers is normally you will be able to look out of your plane easier like this. You'll spend some time doing that, which will be a lot of help compared to doing this only looking in forward. So make sure to utilize that while you are actually doing these maneuvers. You can look out the window, look behind you, do everything you need to do to make sure you're going on the right track and maintaining all the standards you need. Next, we will move on to our S-turns. For this last ground reference maneuver, we will be showing off S-turns. So we're going to use this road, the straight road that's right in front of us, and we're going to cross it first at wings level for our first pass over the road. Wings level here, and then we're going to move on a little bit. And once we're ready, we're going to start that first turn. We're going to come back to the road, trying to keep our altitude constant, maintaining airspeed. Turn back around to the road, and we're going to want to be wings level once we're there. So we're going to come back around, level off, wings level. There we go. And we're going to keep going past the road again and start our next turn to the other side. Go, opposite direction turn, coordinated, not losing altitude, not gaining altitude, just keep it nice and smooth, right back across the road. And once we're back across the road, we're going to go wings level again, and get ready for another turn. We're going to do 2 more of these after that. So there we go. Wings level back across the road. We're going to move forward a little bit again to do our next S turn. So there we go, keeping the altitude. We go ahead and roll in left into this next turn. Coordinated. Nice. Make any wind corrections you need, steeper bank needed. Decrease our altitude a little bit there. Keep that turn going. Back over to the road. And we're going to go roll wings level again. And then we'll get ready for our last and final turn for these S-turns. Good altitude, airspeed looks good. We're going to go ahead and start our right turn back towards the road to this last S-turn. Keeping the altitude good. Making any wind corrections we need based on our bank angle. Finishing it off wings level across the road again, and we will be all set for S-turns. So there we go, everything's looking good. About to roll wings level again. There we go. Looking good, back going across. And we'll go ahead and cross there. Right altitude, good airspeed, and that is a set of S-turns. And that finishes our ground reference maneuvers. If you have any questions or comments about what we talked about in this lesson, please add a comment in the lesson section down below. And thank you so much for watching.